It's a beautiful day for baseball right here at the Almond Road campus. 67 degrees and sunny. On days like this in northern Illinois, you cannot beat it for an exhibition game between the Wilmont Panthers and the Warren Blue Devils. Welcome in, everybody. Nick Palazzolo with you for a Wisconsin versus Illinois high school matchup. So a little interstate exhibition contest here at the Almond campus. We get you lineups and defensive alignment. For the Blue Devils, it'll be Beardman, Badgley, and Schmidt left to right in the outfield. Clark, Schills, and Font. And Evan Larson, third to first around the infield. Senior catcher Jake Hall doing the catching for today's starting pitcher, Adam Behrens. Behrens will face this lineup for Wilmont. Ruby Folletti and Jake Christensen. First three due up. Papadakis, Hayden Christensen, and Haley in the middle. Zyvel, Fitzgerald, and Bruton. 7, 8, and 9. Behrens is making his 8th start of the year. He's 3-1 in 32 innings with a 3.28 ERA. Leads the team in strikeouts with 45 to only 14 walks. 5 hit by pitches in there. Getting going a little bit earlier than normal, just simply due to Wilmont being on time. Wilmont arrived at the Almond campus at about 3:30. So we are going to start early, and everybody loves it when a game gets started early. So in steps Ruby. Ruby hitting a $189 in the leadoff spot today for Wilmont, as Barron's first delivery is upstairs. And the 1-0 from Behrens again misses outside for a ball. So quickly 2 balls and no strikes to the batter Ruby. The 2-0 delivery is in there for a called strike. Working the plate and calling balls and strikes is veteran umpire Tom Vogan. On the bases is veteran official Jeff Linforth, as Ruby chases that one out of the strike zone. So that'll even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2, Behrens working out of the windup quickly. In there, called strike 3. 1 up and 1 down for Behrens so far today, as Ruby goes down looking for out number 1.
Hitter, number 9, Marco Folletti.
So in steps the designated hitter Folletti, as plate umpire Tom Vogan walks over to Dan Word, who is greets him with a couple more baseballs. So Mr. Vogan gets his baseballs, and we're ready for the second batter of today's contest. The 0-0 from Behrens. Slider in there for a called strike right at the belt. Folletti thought that was a little elevated. The 0-1 from Behrens misses up and away for a ball. Folletti hitting .294 in 42 plate appearances. Wilmont is only 5-6, only 11 games, as Folletti skies one foul up the first base line, and that's going to get out of play. Wilmont, as I mentioned, has only played 11 games. That is due to they're from Wilmont, Wisconsin, and Wisconsin's start date for baseball isn't until the end of March, where here in Illinois it is the end of February, as the 1-2 delivery to Folletti is fouled in and out of the glove of Hall. So a good job by Folletti to fight off a tough pitch, and Behrens gets set for the 1-2. Behrens making the start before a presumptive start against Lake Forest next week, as the 1-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. So the first 2 batters Behrens sees go down via the punch-out.
Now hitting the third baseman, number 5, Jake Christensen.
So in steps Jake Christensen, the left-handed hitter who's playing third base. So the assumption is left-handed hitter, right-handed thrower, as Clark is now in right on the lip of the grass as Christensen hacks at his first offering and fouls it straight back. Beautiful day here at the Allman campus. Yesterday it was a relatively nice day, a little bit on the chillier side. Got a warm front that moves on, and Barons throws a heck of a changeup on the outer third, and Christensen just flails at it. So the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 is popped up near the third base dugout. Over is Hall and the third baseman Clark, but that's going to get out of play. So Christensen does his best to spoil that one. So now the 0-2 from Barons once again. Working out of the windup with that baby blue glove. The 0-2 fastball misses upstairs. 1-2. Wilmont wearing charcoal gray uniforms with white and red candy cane-like stripes around the neck and at the bottom of the sleeves. As the 1-2 is skied into center field. Over is Badgley, and he will make the catch. 3 up, 3 down for the Blue Devils. We'll go to the bottom half of this first inning. You're listening to the Blue Devil Radio Network. Welcome back. Bottom half of the first inning. Blue Devils hitting after Barons retires the first 3 Panthers he faced. Warren lineup will look like this. Badgley, Font, and Schills first 3 men up. Clark, Larson, and Gonzalez in the middle. Schmidt, Beardman, and Barons round out the 9 for the Blue Devils, as the pitcher is Devin Dukevich, tall, lanky right-hander throws from about the 12 o'clock arm slot. A little funk in his delivery as Badgley takes outside. Panthers defensively will go Zyvel, Hayden Christensen, and Fitzgerald left to right in the outfield. Jake Christensen, Ruby Bruton, and Papadopoulos third to first on the infield. And Haley is working behind the dish as Badgley hops one to the first baseman, Papadakis. So that'll go 3 unassisted for Badgley. So that'll be out number 1. So in steps Tony Font. Font coming into the game batting .396, well above team average of .320, as Dukevich's fastball runs up and in, and it nails Tony Font on the left, I believe the left shoulder. So Font is aboard on the hit by pitch. So in step Shills. Shills leading the team with 69 total at-bats. So quickly 1 away, but a runner on for Shills. As Dukevich delivers, that misses downstairs for a ball. Font has 4 stolen bases, about in the middle of the team lead, as Dukevich with a very long pickoff move to first base. Almost took like 2 steps towards first base before he decided to throw it. But Font is back there in time. So the count is now 1 ball and no strikes to Shills. And Shills takes upstairs or maybe out. Looked more upstairs potentially from my vantage point up here in the press box, but that vantage point nobody cares about. The 2-0 delivery to Shills. Dukevich working as there's a ground ball to the second baseman, Bruton. He throws to the shortstop at second, on to first, not in time. So Font is retired via the fielder's choice at second base, and Shills is aboard on the fielder's choice. So 2 away here in the first inning. So in steps Clark. Clark is going to play collegiately at Carthage College. Clark also a member of Prime Athletics, as Dukevich's first delivery is greeted by Clark past a jumping Jake Christensen at third base, and that's going to get into left field. So Cole Clark is aboard with a base knock, and the first one of the ball came for either side. So first and second with 2 away, and in steps Larson. Larson leads the team in a category you don't necessarily want to, and that category is hit by pitches. He leads the Blue Devil offense with 4. Blue Devils as a team have been hit 19 times. But a great chance for an RBI opportunity with Shills and good speed at second base, as Dukevich throws a curveball that Larson swings and misses at. The second baseman, Bruton, is holding Shills closely at second base. First baseman, Papadakis, is playing in Clark's back pocket. And as I mentioned, Larson leads the team in hit by pitches. He gets nailed with that one, an off-speed pitch. That one didn't hurt nearly as much. So now the bases are loaded, as Haley will go out to the mound and kind of calm down Dukevich. Dukevich a little funk in his delivery when he comes set out of the stretch. Significantly more bend in the knees than most pitchers have. Most pitchers, you can pretty much draw a straight line from their toes all the way up their back, as Gonzalez greets the first pitch he sees with a swing and miss. Wind is blowing in from right field, blowing right to left significantly. That'll probably change by the time we're done here, as the 0-1 delivery is in there for a called strike, so Gonzalez having to go to work early with 2 strikes. Just needs something in play here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. The 0-2 from Dukevich is grounded to the second baseman, Bruton, but that gets into right center field. Schills will score, and Clark hits third, and he is sent. Blue Devils score 2 runs, courtesy of an E4 with 2 outs here in the first inning.
Now batting the right fielder, number 5, Sam Schmidt.
So Bruton at second base, a ground ball hit relatively right at him. He went to get on his knees and backhand that ball. He should have just put his glove down, fingertips down, and hit the dirt with it, and he would have at least knocked it down. But that one goes right through the 5-hole. As in steps Schmidt as he takes a swing and a miss. Blue Devils lead here early, 2-0. And the 0-1 to the batter, Schmidt, misses outside for a ball. The count is now even at 1. Larson, the runner on second. Gonzalez, the runner on first, with 2 RBIs. And the 1-1 to Schmidt is skied into left field. This ball's going to be an adventure, but the wind is going to take that one and push that one all the way foul. That one started right at the left fielder Zeivel, and that ball just continued to get pushed by the wind and got out of play. So Schmidt got some work to do with 2 strikes, the count being 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shortstop Ruby is playing right behind Larson, now backs off. The 1-2 misses upstairs to even things up at 2-2. Panthers right fielder Fitzgerald is playing straight up in right field. Probably like to see him shade more to right center, especially with the wind. But the 2-2 from Dukevich is flied into right field. Over is Fitzgerald, twisting and turning, and he will make the catch. What do I know about outfield? So Schmidt flies out. Blue Devils score twice. We'll go to the second inning. You're listening to the Blue Devil Radio Network. Welcome back. Top half of the second inning. Blue Devils lead 2-0, courtesy of an error by the Panthers in the first inning, allowing 2 runs to score. Both of those runs are going to be unearned. In steps the first baseman, Papadakis, as the 1-0 delivery is hit a mile, but it is a mile foul up the first baseline. So 1-1 is the count. Barron's only needing 15 pitches for the first inning, as that one's chopped over to the right side. Barron's over to cut it off. He gathers and throws on to Larson at first base. So Papadakis is retired. That'll go 1-3. Nice job by Barron's. to get off the mound quickly. Jake Hall was almost running interference for Barons as Papadakis was getting out of the right-handed batter's box as Hall was essentially running right next to him, trying to get that ball. And in steps Hayden Christensen as he swings on and misses. Christensen is not the actor who plays Anakin on Star Wars, even though it is May the 4th be with you. Totally different. Tomorrow we will have our famed Cinco de Mayo broadcast. That'll be exciting. As Barons delivers a slider in there for a called strike. So 1-2 the count to Hayden Christensen. And Barons works out of the windup, and that slider misses outside to even things up at 2s. Christensen is leading this Panther team with a .438 average. Panthers as a team aren't necessarily hitting. They're only hitting .239 as a team, as the 2-2 misses upstairs, and that draws a little bit of offense from the Panther dugout. So the count is now full. Barons working out of the windup. The 3-2 delivery curveball misses outside as Christensen is aboard for a walk.
Now hitting number 3, the catcher, Max Haley.
So Christensen aboard and the first Panther base runner today. So in steps Max Haley doing the catching today. Haley hitting .294 and 34 at-bats. 10 hits in those 34 at-bats as Clark, the third baseman, plays in. He squares to bunt. He pops it up. Barons over near the third baseline, jumping to make the catch. Had to dodge the third baseman Clark on the jump to avoid a collision. But that'll just be a simple pop-up to the pitcher, Barons, for out number 2. So both outs for Barons in this half of the inning have been a 1-3 putout and then just a little popped-up bunt. As the batter Zyvel grounds one to the shortstop. Shills on the first pitch he sees. He flips to Fon at second base. We'll go to the bottom half of the second. Blue Devils lead 2-0. You're listening to Blue Devil Baseball right here on the Blue Devil Radio Network. Welcome back. Bottom half of the second inning. Blue Devils lead 2-0. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for the Blue Devils. That'll be Beardman, Barons, and Badgley, the 3 Bs. As Beardman sees the first pitch, he grounds it up the first base line. Going to be a tough play by the catcher, Haley. He will throw on to first in time. So Beardman is retired 2-3 for out number 1. So in steps Barons as Tommy Beardman was running up the first baseline. He lost his helmet. So now in steps Barons. Barons, 45 plate appearances, only a .225 average. Definitely has not been the offensive player he was for the last 2 seasons for the Blue Devils, as he takes a called strike. And the 0-1 delivery from the pitcher Dukevich misses outside. So 1-1 is the count. Barons lines 1-1. Hopper to the second baseman Bruton, in and out of the glove. He throws on to first, but in time, they thought Papadakis was off of the bag. Clinton Smothers is yelling at base umpire Jeff Linforth from the third base coach's box, and now wants to have a conversation with the plate umpire Tom Vogan. So Barons is retired. Clint Smothers is not happy with that call. Now Dan Ward asked Linforth for an explanation, and he seems content with what he heard. As now Badgley lines one up the first baseline, and that's going to get into right field. So Charlie Badgley is aboard with the knock with 2 outs. That ball was scorched off of Badgley's bat, and he's able to do a nice job, pull his hands in, and ground it right up the first baseline. So with 2 away, in steps Font. Badgley creeping is now Font squares to bunt for a hit, but he bunts foul right towards the on-deck hitter Adam Schills. So just a little bit of a short strike for Font as Badgley retreats back to first base. Dukevich has allowed 2 hits today, as he has just allowed his 3rd. As Font golfs this one into right field. Badgley big turn at second base. The right fielder Fitzgerald tries to backpick Charlie Badgley at second base, but not in time. So Font is aboard with the base knock. So back-to-back hits with 2 outs. Blue Devils threatening to do more damage with 2 outs. And in steps Adam Schills. Shilsey reached on a fielder's choice his last time up, as Dukevich's pitch misses upstairs for a ball. Beautiful day for baseball right here at the Almond campus, as the 1-0 delivery to Schills is on the outer third for a called strike. About 3 clouds in sight of the press box vantage here at the Almond campus, as Schills lines one up the middle to the shortstop Ruby, as he will hustle towards second base and force out Font. So Blue Devils threaten with 2 outs, but they don't push across a run. We'll go to the 3rd inning. You're listening to the Blue Devil Radio Network. Top half of the third inning, 8-9-1 due up for the Panthers. Fitzgerald, Bruton, and Ruby. As Barron starts his third inning of work, very efficient, only 26 pitches needed for his first 6 outs. As Fitzgerald squares to bunt and pops it foul up the third base line. So just a little strike, trying to bunt for a hit. Fitzgerald squares again, and same result, bunts it foul, this time a little further with a little bit more exit velocity towards that Blue Devil third base dugout. So I don't think Fitzgerald will try to bunt with 2 strikes, but the third baseman, Clark, thinks that as he plays in on the grass. As the 0-2 from Barron's, fastball, outer third, just off the plate. Barron's thought he had that one, but that was just off the plate. So now he works to do the 1-2. The 1-2 from Barron's, curveball, jam shot into left field over his Beardman, tracking towards the line, and he'll make the catch. Nice job by Beardman to play the wind right there. And in steps Bruton, the second baseman, who made a costly error in the bottom half of the first inning with 2 outs, causing 2 runs to score. Both of those runs will be unearned, charged to the pitcher, Dukevich. As Barron's delivers a pitch in there for a called strike at the knees in the outer third. And the 0-1 from Barron's, curveball swung on and missed, and Barron's working with authority here as Bruton is quickly in the count. And the 0-2 curveball fouled off of the catcher, Jake Hall. He was willing to swing at that. So the count is still no balls and 2 strikes. Wind howling in from right field. Barron's a long look at the catcher Hall. Now delivers. Chopper to the second baseman. Font, he waits on it. Throws on to first in time. So not 3 up, 3 down. That's only out number 2. So that'll go 4-3 for out number 2. And that'll bring the top half of the Panther lineup up here in the third inning, as Clay Kovac steps out from the dugout to direct his outfielders to shift to right field, as Ruby puts a charge into this one, deep left field, and that is a fair ball. That one hops the wall, so Ruby will scamper into second base with a double.
Marco Folletti.
So that is the Panthers' first hit. Blue Devil, the wind definitely took that one. That ball looked like it had a chance of getting out of here, but the wind kept that one in the ballpark and bounced up near the 318 sign in the left field corner, right underneath the foul pole, and in steps Folletti, and he attacks the first pitch from Barron's, and that gets out of play. So no balls and a strike. As Barron's pickoff move to second base, not in time. Good, quick move. But Ruby able to dive back in there safely. As Folletti has a swing and a miss on that one. Folletti using this very bright orange lightsaber as a bat. It's not actually a lightsaber, it's just a very bright orange bat. As there's a little jam shot to the Barron's on the mound. He will dash and flip, and that's what the dugout says. So Ruby doubles but does not score. We'll go to the bottom half of the third. You're listening to the Blue Devil Radio Network. Welcome back. Bottom half of the third inning. Clark, Larson, and Gonzalez due up for the Blue Devils as Dukevich is in his third inning of work. As Clark has that pitch run up and hit him right in his left ear hole. His helmet falls off. It's probably a little bit of his ear might be ringing. So Clark will do like a fast-paced jog.
28, Evan Larson.
A little fast-paced jog. As now base umpire Jeff Linforth will now go over to first base and check on Clark. Clark gonna need an extra second. Larson is wearing jersey number 25 because he left his actual jersey at home. He was told that it would be here by game time, but because we started 25 minutes early, it is not here. So he is now wearing number 25, and number 25 grounds one to the shortstop, Ruby, and Ruby can't handle it, so Larson is aboard.
At the designated hitter, number 23, Jacob Gonzalez.
So that, I'm going to give Larson a hit there. That seemed to be, I think that would have been a tough play regardless. So in steps Gonzalez. Trying to figure out whose number Larson stole as Gonzalez squares to bunt but pulls back. Oh, and of course it's Justin Kretz. Kretz sprained his UCL, so he is likely done for the year. He's got a big old brace on that right throwing arm. As the 1-0 to Gonzalez is taken outside for a ball, 2-0. Papadakis at first base, playing in on the infield cutout, guarding a bunt. Nobody out, first and second. Dukevich with the pitch. That pitch is a called strike on the outer third at the knees. So a 2-1 is the count. As Dukevich working out of the stretch. Long look at Clark, the runner at second, as he takes outside for a ball. 3-1 is the count to Gonzalez, rather. So 3-1 as Schmidt waits patiently for his opportunity on deck. The 3-1 misses outside, ball 4. Gonzalez with a quality at bat there to draw the walk.
Sam Schmidt.
And now they are loaded for Sam Schmidt. So in steps Schmidt with the bases loaded and still nobody out, as the first pitch from Dukevich is taken upstairs for a ball. The 1-0 to Schmidt is lined past a jumping second baseman, Bruton. Clark around third. He's going to score. Larson chugging home, and he's going to score. So Sam Schmidt with a 2-run single. Blue Devils lead 4-0.
At bat number 17, Thomas Beardman.
So Schmidt is aboard with a base knock. RBIs 10 and 11 for Schmitty. So now Gonzalez the runner on second, Schmidt the runner on first, and in steps Beardman. He squares to bunt. He takes a called strike. Throw down to third on the steal is in time. So Gonzalez is caught stealing 2-5 at third base for the first out of the inning. Schmidt advances towards second base. Not really sure why Beardman took that pitch. You want to bunt strikes, and he threw you a pretty good strike. Beardman pulled back and left Gonzalez out to dry at third base. So now Beardman takes a healthy hack at a fastball in and out of the glove of the catcher, Haley. So the count is no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 from Dukevich grounded to the shortstop, Ruby. Schmidt takes off for third, tag there, as Schmidt is tagged out at third, and I'm not really sure why Schmidt even took off for third. Quite the mental error by Schmidt. There's nobody behind him running, so he wasn't forced to go to third. He took off on contact and was tagged out. So 2 outs on the base paths for the Blue Devils in this inning. And so now 2 outs as that pitch gets away from the catcher Haley and goes to the backstop. So now Beardman is aboard second base after reaching on the fielder's choice. Blue Devils scored 2 runs in the first inning thanks to a error by the second baseman Bruton with 2 outs, causing 2 runs to score. As the 1-0 to the pitcher Barons misses outside, so the count is now 2 balls and no strikes. Blue Devils have scored twice this inning, courtesy of Sam Schmidt with a 2-run single past the drawn-in infield. And the 2-0 to Barons in there for a called strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike, the count to the pitcher Barons. Dukevich working long look at the base runner. Beardman at second base. That pitch misses downstairs. The count is now 3-1. So the 3-1 to Barons. Swung on and missed. Strike 2, so the count has now run full to the 9-hitter Barons as Badgley waits to see on deck if he'll get another opportunity. The 3-2 from Dukevich. Curveball hung and spoiled by Barons as that's going to get all the way out of play. Up the third base line, over past the batting cages. Good job by Barons to just spoil it. So here comes the 3-2 once again. Misses outside, ball 4. So Barons is aboard with a walk as Beardman stays put at second base.
Number 8, Charlie Badgley.
So Badgley now up for the third time today, as KT Brown is taking over as the courtesy runner for Barons at first base. So Beardman the runner on second. KT Brown now the runner at first base, as in steps Badgley for the 3rd time in 3 innings, as he takes a called strike from Dukevich. Both of Badgley's first 2 plate appearances have been towards the first baseman Papadakis, as the 0-1 delivery misses outside for a ball. But Badgley grounded out to Papadakis in the top half of the first inning and then lined a base hit up that first base foul line for a base knock in inning number 2. As the 1-1, a little slap to the third baseman Christensen, as he'll just scamper over to third base and step on the bag to complete the force out. We'll go to the 4th. You're listening to the Blue Devil Radio Network. Devils lead by 4. Top half of the fourth inning, Blue Devils lead 4-0 as Adam Behrens is dealing here in a exhibition game, in a little bit of a tune-up for Behrens for Lake Forest on Monday and on Tuesday next week, as Jake Christensen, the third baseman, attacks the first pitch he sees and fouls that one off. Behrens only needing 40 pitches to get through 3 innings. As the 0-1 is a curveball in there for a called strike on the inner third. Christensen was surprised, but Behrens working with a little bit of pace. So now the 0-2 delivery from Behrens. Long look at the catcher Hall. The 0-2 slider misses downstairs for a ball. Nice job by Hall to keep that one in front. So 1-2's the count. Behrens to Christensen. Grounds one up the first base line, but that is foul. So the count is 1-2 strikes to the batter Christensen. And the 1-2 from Behrens. Grounded up the first base line. Larson is there. He flips over to Behrens, who covers the bag at first. That'll go 3-1 for the putout. And out number 1.
Cody Papadakis.
Lots of weak contact off of Behrens so far here today. So in steps the first baseman, Cody Papadakis, who grounded out to the pitcher Behrens his first time up. As Papadakis has a swing and a miss on a slider. And an excellent pitch by Behrens. As Papadakis skies one foul over near the third base line. Clark giving chase, but that's going to get out of play. Papadakis hitting .290 on the season, but is also second on this Panther team in terms of strikeouts with 12. As Behrens looks to add to Papadakis' total right now, as the 0-2 is fouled straight back. Papadakis all over that fastball as he looked to ambush that one. So no balls and 2 strikes to the batter Papadakis. Behrens working out of the windup. The 0-2 curveball in there, called strike 3. As Behrens gets Papadakis looking for out numero dos. And in steps the center fielder, Hayden Christensen.
At bat number 1, Hayden Christensen.
Christensen is leading this Panther team with 14 hits. He walked and was forced out at second base on a fielder's choice his first time up in the second inning. As he fouls that one back. So the count is no balls and a strike. Behrens, like I said, working with a lot of pace. So the 0-1 is a slider. That misses low and away for a ball. That'll even the count at 1. Nice crowd on hand here at the Almond campus. Slowly gathering as we started about 25 minutes early, about a 4:45 scheduled first pitch. Started right about 4:20, so a little less than an hour ago. And the 2-1 to the batter Christensen. Curveball in there for a called strike. Christensen agrees, nods his head, steps out of the box, and now back in. So the 2-2 from Behrens. Slider misses outside, so the count is now full. As Papadakis will look to battle his way with a full count. And the 3-2 ground or lined right up off the pitcher Barons off of his ankle, and that ball kicks right in front of the mound. Barons goes to get in his fielding position and turns as he wears that one somewhere off the lower leg. So that'll go as a hit for Christensen. Ball wasn't hit all that hard, but in a spot where it deflected off of Barons, and as a pitcher, once you get hit, you kind of lose sight of where the baseball is. So with 2 outs, in steps the catcher, Haley, who popped out to Barons on a bunt in the 2nd inning. Barons working out of the stretch for only the 2nd time today, as he misfires outside for a ball. As the next delivery is popped up to the third baseman, Larson, foul, and Larson closes that glove before he even secures the baseball. So that'll go as an error, as a relatively routine pop-up was dropped in foul territory by Larson, as Tony Font, the second baseman, was over, now consoles Larson. So the count is 1 ball and 1 strike to the batter, Haley, as he grounds one to the third baseman, Clark. Clark fires to first base, a one-hopper to the first baseman, Larson, but Larson cannot scoop that one. So back-to-back errors allow Haley to reach, that time an E5. That's going to be on the throw. Larson didn't seem to be very comfortable in picking that ball as Clark threw a one-hopper over to first base. Throw definitely was in time, but Larson unable to scoop it cleanly. So now first and second with 2 away, and in steps the batter, Zyvel, who ended the 2nd inning on a fielder's choice, as the 0-0 delivery misses downstairs for a ball. One ball and no strikes, as that one is lined foul over near the first base dugout, but that's going to get out of play. So the count is 1 ball and 1 strike, as Zyvel waits for Barons. Long look at the catcher, Hall. They pick off to second base. They have the runner Christensen in a rundown between second and third. Clark, the third baseman, running him back towards second. Throws that ball away. Badgley gathers. Throw on to third. Not in time, as plate umpire Tom Vogan was there to make the call, as Barons was over at third base to make the tag. It appeared to me that he got him, as Clint Smothers is out to have a conversation with both umpires, but the problem there is that is his call, because once the plate umpire rotates up to third, that is his call, and the call was safe, so that call is going to stand. So they had Christensen picked off between second and third, and the Blue Devil defense not doing Barons any favors. Already 20 pitches this inning after needing 40 to finish the first 3, as Zyvel swings and misses. So now the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to the batter, Zyvel. Barons looking to do it himself since the defense isn't helping him. As the runner takes off for second, chopper up the middle. Barons will cut it off. He'll throw on to first. He does do it himself. So Panthers threaten, but they don't score. We'll go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. You're listening to the Blue Devil Radio Network. Bottom half of the fourth inning, Blue Devils lead 4-0. As it'll be Font, Shills, and Clark due up for the Blue Devils. Blue Devils, this is game 2 of the rare 3-game homestand. In high school baseball, you're used to playing almost every other day, but Blue Devils have 3 in a row. As Dukevich is still working as he delivers fastball in there for a called strike. So 0-1 is the count to the batter Font, who singled his last time up, and he attacks that fastball and fouls it straight back. So quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Dukevich at 52 pitches through 3+ innings as Font golfs one in the air to left field. Over is the left fielder Zyvel. He camps under it, and he'll make the catch. So Font is retired for out numero uno. In steps Shills, who is grounded into back-to-back fielder's choices in his first 2 trips up. He can't possibly do that a third time with nobody on here in the 4th inning. As Shills skies one in the air to left field. Over is the left fielder Zeidel. And he will make the catch. So back-to-back flyouts to the left fielder. So in steps Clark, who is singled and hit by a pitch. This game almost has MLB pitch clock requirements, as this game's a fast mover so far. As Clark attacks the first pitch he sees and grounds it foul up the third base line. So no balls and a strike to the batter Clark. As Clark sees the elevated curveball upstairs, he definitely thought about it, but did not swing. So now 1 ball and 1 strike to Clark. Dukevich delivers as Clark lines one into left field, and that's going to one-hop the wall. No, that is gone! Cole Clark with a line drive home run. Blue Devils lead 5-0. That ball got out of here in a hurry. From my vantage point here in the press box, it looked like it one-hopped the wall because I didn't think it had enough on it, but it definitely did, and Cole Clark has his 2nd home run of the season.
At bat number 21, Adam Shills. Correction, Evan Larson.
So in steps Larson. Try to follow up Cole Clark's line drive home run. That ball, I don't think, got more than 20 feet off of the ground. Definitely thought that one hopped the wall, but I guess not. So Clark seems to be fine after getting hit in the head. As Larson takes upstairs, Clark was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. Blasts a home run in the 4th inning. So the 1-1 to the batter Larson. Misses for a ball. As I mentioned earlier, Larson usually wears number 28, but he is wearing number 25 because he left his number 28 jersey at home. As that pitch is in there for a called strike. The 2-1 to Evan Larson from Dukevich misses upstairs for a ball. 3-1 is the count with Gonzalez, the designated hitter today, waiting patiently on deck. The 3-1 swung on and missed by Larson. So that'll even things up at 3-2, I believe. Correction, 2-2. Getting one pitch ahead of myself. So the 2-2 to Larson. Or no, it was the 3-2. The 3-2 misses upstairs for a ball, so Larson is aboard with a walk. So after the first two batters this inning were retired via the flyout to left field, Clark has homered and Larson has walked. So in steps Gonzalez, who is the designated hitter for the catcher Hall today. As Gonzalez takes outside for a ball. One ball and no strikes to the batter, Gonzalez. Fastball in there on the outer third for a called strike. Looked pretty good from my vantage point. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Gonzalez. As Gonzalez has a healthy hack at that one, and that one's going to get out of play into the parking lot. So quickly 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the 1-2 to Gonzalez lined up the middle into center field, and that's going to stay down as Gonzalez is aboard with a base hit. So Larson will move over to second base. Gonzo aboard with a base knock, and in steps Sam Schmidt. Schmidt singled his last time up with the bases loaded, causing 2 runs to come in to score. Schmidt, the left-handed hitter, waits for the delivery as that pitch misses outside for a ball. So 1 ball and no strikes. That is Dukevich's 68th delivery. And delivery number 69 to the batter, Schmidt. Lined up the middle. That's going to get down. Larson hits third, and he's going to be sent. That ball gets under the center fielder's Christensen's glove. Gonzalez hits third, and then gets the late stop sign by Clint Smothers. So another run is in. Blue Devils lead 6-0 here in the 4th inning. So Schmidt has his 3rd RBI of the day, and I believe number 12 on the season. As Wilmont will have a meeting of the minds at the mound. Nice piece of hitting by Schmidt. This inning seemed to be going nowhere, especially with the first 2 batters in Font and Shills being retired via the flyout to left field. So the meeting of the minds is now over. So Gonzalez is the runner on third. Schmidt the runner on first. Blue Devils lead 6-0. They have scored twice here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So in steps the batter, Beardman. As Beardman grounded into his a fielder's choice his last time up. Blue Devils have 7 hits already through almost 4 complete innings. So Gonzalez the runner on third, Schmidt the runner on first. As Beardman takes a healthy hack at that one and fouls that one straight back. Wonder if Coach Smothers runs his patented, well, it's not patented, but basically patented. It's delayed steal pull-up. Try to steal another run. The 0-1. That gets away from the catcher, Haley. He doesn't need to run it because Gonzalez scores easily. Blue Devils now lead by a touchdown as Schmidt is into second base on the wild pitch. So now the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike to the batter, Beardman. Beardman just needs to poke something to where the second baseman would normally play, and he'd have himself another RBI and a base knock. The 1-1 to Beardman is a front-doored curveball that Beardman turned away from and almost got nailed with. Beardman coming into today batting .254. He's starting to climb his way back up there after hitting a little bit of a rough stretch here mid-season. As the 2-1 is swung on and missed by Beardman by a really good off-speed pitch by Dukevich. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to the batter. Beardman, high chopper to the shortstop. Ruby fields on a hop, throws on to first in time. Nice play by the shortstop, Ruby, but the Blue Devils score 3. They lead by a touchdown. We'll go to the 5th. You're listening to the Blue Devil Radio Network. Welcome back. Top half of the 5th inning. Barron's on for his 5th inning of work. Barron's has been excellent today. 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 3 tickets punched. 62 pitches needed for all 12 outs. So in steps the 8-hitter Fitzgerald as Clark plays in on the grass expecting a bunt. As Barron's just blows a fastball right by Fitzgerald, who is severely late on that one. The 0-1 delivery in the dirt, check swing, as Fitzgerald definitely did go. The appeal to first base umpire Jeff Linforth, he indeed did agree. So the count is no balls and 2 strikes as that slider slides a little bit too much, and that gets past the catcher Hall. But no problem there with nobody on base. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the batter Fitzgerald. The 1-2 check swing. Yes, he did. Hall will gather, throw inside the line in time to complete the strikeout.
Number 2.
So Fitzgerald goes down for the 2nd time today for out number 1. So you can score that strikeout, and then 2-3 on the completion of that putout. So in steps the 9-hitter Bruton, who grounded out to the second baseman Font his last time up. One ball and no strikes as Barron's delivers a fastball swung on and missed by Bruton. Nobody has really squared up Barron's today. Barron's getting a lot of weak contact, a lot of weak ground balls. So the 1-1 misses downstairs for a ball, 2-1. So 2-1 to the batter. Bruton misses upstairs for a ball. Hall and Barons both thought they had strike 2, but plate umpire Tom Vogan disagreed. So the count is now 3 balls and a strike. As Bruton golfs one into right field, over is Schmidt to make the catch for out number 2.
At bat with the top of the order, number 8, Chance Ruby.
So in steps Chance Ruby, who doubled his last time up, but Wilmont could not get him into score. As Barons delivers a curveball in there for a strike. The 0-1 delivery, another curveball in there for a strike. So 0-2 is the count. The 0-2 delivery, another curveball. They triple up with it, but that one is just spoiled by Ruby as he fouls it off of the brick base of the backstop. So no balls and 2 strikes. We'll see if Barons goes back to that curveball for the 4th time in this at-bat, or he chooses to blow him by with a fastball. I'd blow him in, buzz the tower up and in with the fastball. The 0-2 fastball in there, called strike 3. 3 up and 3 down for the Panthers. That in that inning, we'll go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Blue Devils look to put this one away. You're listening to Blue Devil Baseball right here on the Blue Devil Radio Network. Welcome back. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Blue Devils need 3 to go home a winner as there's a new hurler on the mound for the Panthers. We'll get to him in a moment as Barons sees the first delivery. And that new hurler is Christian Jaziak on for the 2nd time this year. 2 1/3 inning is 3 hits and 3 runs given up as Barons skies one into left field. Over is the left fielder, Zyvel, and he's twisting and turning, but he won't make the play. Barons is into second base with a lead-off double, and Blue Devils are in business here in the 5th inning. So in steps Badgley. Zyvel, the left fielder, was twisting and turning as that ball just got sliced into the wind and got a lot more carry than he was expecting. So Badgley steps in looking for RBI number 19 on the season with no one away. Jasiak delivers and misses outside. We take a look down to the Blue Devil bullpen as Landon Theron is beginning to throw. He's just playing catch, not playing with any urgency. As the 2-0 delivery to the batter Badgley, that misses upstairs for a ball. The count is now 3-0. As the 3-0 to Badgley is on the outer third, but a called strike. So Badgley will go to work 3-1. The 3-1 to Badgley as he skies one in the air, left field, Zyvel over. He's tracking, and he will make the catch. Barons will not tag. So Badgley is retired for out number 1. So in steps Font for the 4th time today, as he is 1 for 3 with a single. Going to the left side and all 3 at bats as he takes upstairs from Jasiak. Nice to see some of the Warren Frush Soft Blue Devils supporting the Varsity squad today. As Font takes upstairs for a ball again. As the 2-0 delivery to Font is inside for a ball. So the count now 3 balls and no strikes. Jasiak delivers, high leg kick. That one runs inside, almost hits him, but it doesn't matter. That's ball 4.
Adam Shields.
So Barron stays put at second base. And Font aboard with the base on balls. In step Shills, who was technically 0 for 3 today. 2 fielders' choices and a fly out to left field. As Shills attacks the first pitch he sees, and that one is very foul. So, no balls and a strike to the batter Shills, as Shills looks to do damage, and he does right at the first baseman Papadakis, and he will double off. As he makes the catch, he will double off Font at first base, so Shilsy lines into a double play. We'll go to the 6th inning. You're listening to the Blue Devil Radio Network. Welcome back. Top half of the 6th inning. Barron's on for his 6th inning of work. Has got a shutout going through 5 innings. As Folletti, Christensen, and Papadakis due up for the Panthers. As Barron's gets ready to deliver, that's a curveball lined to the second baseman, Font. He fields on a hop, throws on to first in time. Excellent play by Tony Font to pick that hop cleanly and throw on to first base. So 1 pitch and 1 out for Font and Barron's. Barron's had 5 innings and 75 pitches as he delivers a called strike in there to Christensen. Barron's working with a little bit of pep in his step today as the slider is in there for a called strike. Quickly 0-2 is Christensen in the hole as he looks to go to work. The 0-2 from Barron's is just spoiled enough, and that is going to get out of play foul. As the 0-2 once again is going to stay foul. As we check in the Blue Devil bullpen, it is Noah Peterson now throwing. So 1-2 the count to the batter, Christensen. He swings and misses as Hall makes the catch. So Barron's has punched his 6th ticket.
Hit back to first baseman, number 10.
For out number 2
Cody
here in the
Papadakis.
top half in the 6th inning. As Papadakis has a healthy hack on that one and misses. Barron's dealing here today here at the Almond campus. He has been locked in from the first pitch, as that one is fouled right off of the catcher, Hall. As pitching coach Clay Kovac comes out of the dugout, checks on Hall. Hall is ready to get back to work. And the 0-2 curveball blocked. Nice job by Hall to get all of his body in front of it. So the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top half of the 6th inning with 2 outs. Panthers have threatened in this game, but they have not scored. The 1-2 slow roller to the third baseman, Clark. He charges, throws, but that ball is not picked cleanly by Larson. Good play by Clark. That'll go as an error as Papadakis will reach.
Now hitting number 1, Hayden Christensen.
So Papadakis reaches on an error by Clark, even though the Blue Devils are winning 7-0. This has not been their cleanest defensive game. So Barron's working with 2 outs. Another soft ground ball to the second baseman, Font. He stumbles, gathers, throws on to first in time. So that'll go 4-3, and we'll go to the bottom half
Wilmont 0.
of the 6th inning as Barron's has got himself a shutout. We'll see if he'll get the opportunity to finish it off. Don't change those dials. We'll be back right here on the Blue Devil Radio Network. Welcome back. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Clark, Larson, and Gonzalez due up as Jasiak is still on, starting his second full inning of work as he delivers upstairs to Clark, and the 1-0 is downstairs for a ball. So the count is now 2 balls and no strikes. As Jasiak, a long leg kick as Clark lines one into left field. That one is gone! Cole Clark with home run number 2 on the day. Have yourself a day, Cole Clark. Blue Devils lead 8-0.
Now batting for the Blue Devils, number 16, Albert Jaquez.
So Clark hits his second long ball of the day. Blue Devils now lead 8-0. As the Blue Devil dugout gave Clark the silent treatment. And now we'll go over to congratulate Clark on his first 2 home run game of the season. So now steps in the pinch hitter, Albert Jaquez. Jaquez just committed the other day to play collegiately at the College of Lake County. As we have a little bit of a lineup card snafu. So in steps Jaquez for the first time today, pinch hitting for the first baseman Larson as he takes a ball. As the 1-0 delivery is popped up just over my head. That's going to get out of play. So the count is 1 ball and 1 strike to the pinch hitter Jaquez. And the 1-1 curveball misses very, very high. So now the count is 2 balls and a strike to the batter Jaquez. As Jaquez skies one in the air deep to center field. Christensen back on it, and he will make the catch up against the wall. So Jaquez gave that ball a ride, but that'll be the first out.
Kyle Bender.
So in steps Bender, who will pinch hit for Gonzalez. So Bender pinch hitting. As he just self-announces himself as a pinch hitter. More lineup card snafu. More paperwork. Everybody hates paperwork. This is why when I have to do lineup cards, I always just have an index card and then I write it down on the index card, hopefully remember what I write, and then in between innings I make the change in the actual lineup card. But not all lineup cards are conducive for umpires to make changes. So if you're going to give me a lineup card that I can't make a change on, just you might as well keep it. As Bender's first delivery from Jasiak, that misses downstairs. So 1 ball and no strikes as Bender gives this one a ride to left field, but that's going to get foul. So just a little bit out in front of that one. As the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1 curveball in there for a called strike in or third. So Bender will go to work with 2 strikes. As Sam Schmidt waits on deck to see if he can get his second knock of the day. So there's a ground ball to the shortstop, Ruby. He gathers and fires to first base in time. So Bender is retired, but not before Cole Clark hits his second home run of the day. We'll go to the 7th. You're listening to the Blue Devil Radio Network.
Sam Schmidt.
Just kidding. There's only 2 outs. Like, what am I doing? All right. Well, that was really good practice. So Bender is retired 6-3 for out number 2. Because apparently I can't read and don't know how many outs go in an inning of baseball. As I talk about being an umpire, I can't even figure out how many outs are in a half inning. So Schmidt takes upstairs. That'll be a ball. So the 1-0 delivery misses downstairs to Schmidt. This game has been a fast mover. We started at about 4:20, so about reaching at about an hour 40. As the 2-0 delivery to Schmidt is popped high in the infield, now getting back to the outfield. The right fielder, Fitzgerald, was all alone, and that ball's going to drop in, and Schmidt is going to scamper in with a double.
At bat number 17, Thomas Bender Bierman.
So Tommy Beardman steps up. This has just been a half inning of blunders. So Tommy Beardman steps in as Schmidt doubles on a fly ball. Fitzgerald, the right fielder, was the only one who seemed interested on that Panther defense of giving chase and maybe trying to make a play. The center fielder, Christensen, just kind of stayed put, and that's where Beardman puts this one. Lines one into center field. Christensen on, and he will make the catch, but not before Cole Clark hits his second home run of the inning. We'll go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Blue Devils try to close this one out. You're listening to Blue Devil Baseball right here on the Blue Devil Radio Network.
For Wilmont,
Welcome back. Top half of the 7th inning. Blue Devils just need 3 outs and a handshake to make this one official. On new hurler for the Blue Devils is Noah Peterson on for the 3rd time, only an inning and 2/3. As that first pitch is skied in the infield, Font over, and he will make the catch, and that is out number 1.
At bat number 27, Trenton Zyvel.
So in steps Zyvel for the 3rd time today, 0 for 2. More numbers on Peterson. He's only thrown an inning and 2/3. Only 10 batters faced, throwing strikes about 52% of the time for a .583 earned run average. As Peterson misses upstairs for a ball, as it looks like Kyle Carpenter is now throwing in the Blue Devil bullpen if needed, but Zyvel greets this one, and he will knock that one foul. So the count is now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Blue Devils have scored 8 runs on 9 hits. As Zyvel pops this one, short left field, Beardman and Shills is over. It'll be Beardman near the line for out number 2. So 2 quick flyouts for Peterson in his 3rd appearance on the season. So in steps a pinch hitter, Devon Hall. He's pinch hitting for Fitzgerald. And what could be the last out of the ball game, as Hall has a healthy hack at that one for a strike. This is the 0-1 delivery from Hall. Misses badly, about a 57.5-foot fastball from Peterson. Blue Devils have had great work today from their starting pitcher, Adam Behrens. He went 6 strong, 6 shutout innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. As this is grounded to the shortstop or the second baseman Font, he'll throw on to first in time, and the Blue Devils will win this game 8-0. Adam Behrens gets his 4th win on the season. As the Blue Devils will win this one, we'll be back tomorrow for when St. Joseph's Academy of Kenosha comes back to the Elmond Road campus for the conclusion of this 3-game